Hi everybody and welcome to Season 76 of Bearcat Update. I'm going to be updating you on how the seasons are looking for our spring sports. From the resurgence of men's basketball, the toppling of Bearcat track and field records, a look back on Bearcat sports history, and everything in between. We got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. The women's basketball team started the week strong after a defensively controlled 53-45 win against Northeastern State. The Bearcat defense dominated the Riverhawks after keeping them scoreless for a total of 15 minutes in the second quarter. Northwest kept Northeastern shooting at 28%, going just 15 for 50 during the game. Kaylee Keston shined on offense, leading the Bearcats with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. She also finished the game 3 for 5 from outside the arc. Unfortunately, the Bearcats did not have the same outcome against Arkansas Fort Smith, losing 56-47 after the Lions outscored Northwest 19-8 in the fourth quarter. It was a hard-fought game for the Bearcats as there were many lead changes, but they couldn't hold on in the final minutes of play with Sadie Mask's career-high 15 points. Northwest drops to 13-14 as they head home to face Newman at Bearcat Arena next week. They'll also celebrate senior night on Saturday versus Emporia State, where guards Peyton Kelderman and Evelyn Vasquez will be honored. Thank you all for your hard work and your careers here at Northwest. But as postseason play draws near, Anthony Martinez is going to give us a look at what the future holds for the Bearcats.
Hey guys, I'm Anthony Martinez with Bearcat Update, and today I'll be previewing the postseason for the Northwest women's basketball team. The Northwest women's basketball team just snagged a home win versus the Northeastern Riverhawks, which will move them to an even 13-13 record on the season. Kaylin Keston took the headline with the win, along with 13 points and a career record tying of 8 rebounds on the night. The Bearcats will have 2 more home games to finish out the season, featuring opponents like the Newman Jets and Emporia State, which will be on their senior night. The Bearcats started off hot to start the season after beating #1 ranked Minnesota State at the time and raised the bar for expectations. After the season went on, they went into their slumps but managed to get it back on track. Going into the postseason, the Bearcats have made the tournament 7 times and are now going for the 8th time, but they have never brought home the championship. This year, they are looking to change that. The Bearcats will look to go into the postseason with back-to-back wins versus Newman and Emporia, looking to finally change history and bring home the trophy. The MIAA basketball championships will take place once again at the historic Municipal Auditorium in downtown Kansas City. This is Anthony Martinez with Bearcat Update, signing off.
The women's team wasn't the only one to get a win against Northeastern State this week. The men's basketball team fought for a tough 81-74 win against the Riverhawks, finally snapping a 10-game losing streak. With 13 ties and 11 lead changes, both teams battled offensively. Jack Radigan, Byron Alexander, Javion Byers, and Luke Moustakis all had double-digit scoring featuring double-doubles from Jack Radigan and Byron Alexander. It is the first time the Bearcats have had a pair of double-doubles since 2021. The men kept the win streak going after snagging a 64-56 win over Arkansas Fort Smith. This is the first time all season that the men have been able to get back-to-back wins. Getting 21 of the 64 points and having 3 back-to-back three-pointers, Javion Byers was a fierce force on offense. The Bearcats held the Lions to 19 points below their scoring average with a 27.6 shooting average. Northwest moves to 6-20 as they head home to play Newman at Bearcat Arena next week. They will also be celebrating senior night on Saturday versus Emporia State, where they'll honor Spencer Shomers, Emery Knox, Byron Alexander, and Luke Moustakis, who've given their all for the program throughout their time here at Northwest. The softball team has gotten a little break after their game on February 16th against the University of Missouri St. Louis got postponed due to weather. The Bearcats are currently 4-5 going into Washburn Invitational, where they will play 6 games. They face Wayne State and Minot State today, Maryville and Northern State tomorrow, and Minnesota Crookston and Rockhurst on Tuesday. We wish them the best of luck. The baseball team also had a delay in their games. The game on February 18th against Drury got canceled. Northwest is 4 for 4 on the season and heads straight into MIAA play with a triple-header against number 13 Missouri Southern. They'll play 2 games today and their last on Monday. Good luck, Bearcats. As we head into the first break of the show, make sure to stick around after as we will catch up with the track team. We'll be right back.
Running since 1971, broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Featuring programs and news from National Public Radio, as well as Americana, jazz, and classical music. KXCV 90.5 FM Maryville, KNRW 88.9 FM Chillicothe.
Tyrell, did you hear the news?
No, what's up, Noah?
Well, there's a new season of Nerd Central. No, man, there's so much new stuff.
Like what?
Well, Hero to Zero, Star Wars lore.
Oh my God, the Magical Mystery Music Tour and Reel and Beats? This is incredible.
Want to go check it out on YouTube?
You know I do.
That Reels and Beats pack sounds very interesting.
I just love the host of that one. I want to.
Seems interesting.
The track team wrapped up their regular schedule yesterday at Last Chance Meet, where more records were broken. Senior Grant Bradley had an impressive day after he ran a time of 7:53.33 in the men's 3,000 meter, breaking the school record, fieldhouse record, and his own record from January 31st at Washburn. His time ranks 5th in the NCAA Division II. He was not the only one with an accomplished day in the men's 3,000 meter after junior Drew Atkins came in 3rd with a season best 7:55.69 time, ranking 8th in the NCAA Division II. Freshman Wyatt Gardner secured 1st place in the men's long jump after tying his personal best with a 6.85 meter jump. 20 men and 17 women will head to the MIAA Indoor Championships next week at Hughes Fieldhouse. But as some spring sports near the season's conclusion, fall sports are just around the corner as the football team revealed their 2025 schedule this week, which features 5 home games. The Bearcats will open their season traveling to face Minnesota State on August 28th. Their first MIAA game will be played the week after, where they will travel to take on Washburn, and their first home game is against Texas A&M Kingsville on September 13th. After finishing 6-5 last season, Northwest aims to jump back into the top of the MIAA standings under new head coach John McMenamin. It looks to be an exciting season for the Bearcats, and I know I personally can't wait to see what's in store. For more on the Bearcat football team, Kassidy Davis takes a look at the new captain of the ship as she previews the new head coach.
John McMenamin has gained the title of the 21st head coach in Northwest school history as of December 2024. McMenamin is from Elkhorn, Nebraska, and is a Bearcat alumni. He played football at Northwest and obtained the quarterback position as well as being team captain. McMenamin was the head football coach at Wayne State College in Wayne, Nebraska from 2019 to 2021, and he led Wayne State to their first 7-win season in over a decade as well as doubling their roster size due to his massive recruiting. He coached for Omaha Central High School as well as Midland University in Fremont, Nebraska. He also helped coach University of Central Missouri. During his 5 years at Central Missouri, McMenamin helped the Mules reach a 42-17 record with 2 NCAA Division II playoff appearances. From 2021 to 2023, he was the offensive co-coordinator, pass game coordinator, and wide receivers coach at Tulane University. During Coach McManam's time at Tulane University, the team had their biggest one-year turnaround in history, and in 2023, Tulane won the Cotton Bowl Classic against USC. The Green Wave ranked number 9 in the nation in team passing efficiency, number 18 in scoring, and number 20 in red zone offense. These numbers may play a factor into why Northwest players from last year's team are returning, and even some who were planning on graduating are returning for one last ride with the new head coach. So, from all of us here at Bearcat Update, welcome home, Coach. I'm Kassidy Davis, and I'll be back next week with more.
Thanks for that preview, Kassidy. Let's take a look into Bearcat past. During last year's football season, it was announced that both the 2007 and 2008 Bearcat football teams would join the Bearcat M Club Hall of Fame. It was a fruitful time of Bearcat football as Northwest found themselves in back-to-back national championship games on the back of a dominant running back, Xavier Orman. It was Orman that had a season for the ages in 2007, as he would set program records for single-season rushing yards with 2,337 yards, 370 rushing attempts, and a total of 38 touchdowns. He also managed a single-game record for both rushing yards and touchdowns in that year. Behind Orman's battering ram style, the Bearcats eviscerated their way to a 25-4 record. They may not have won it all, but the team managed to leave their mark on Bearcat culture as the succeeding team in 2008 would finish the job in a 14-win national championship campaign. On the field, they relied on Orman, but it was the genius of head coach Mel Churchma that kept the foot on the gas. We're going to take a step aside from the players and coaches to the people that bring the game to the screen. CapVision is the crew that captures sports here on campus, and the group has been going for ages. And now the camera flips around as we break the fourth wall. CapVision is a major supporting piece of this show as they provide some of the game footage we're able to present to you. Our producer, Killian Beck, captured what goes behind the production of Bearcat Sports.
It starts with a dream. The hard work of the athletes sits at center stage, but another team works behind the scenes. CapVision is the crew that brings Bearcat Sports to the fans. It's the privilege of the young men and women in CapVision to take the viewers on the journey of the season. The work isn't easy. The track meet waits for no one. They show up early at 8 a.m. and they get to work. After a set day on Friday, it's time to roll out the equipment. For Jaden Varner, it's his first day.
I'd already worked that morning at the radio station, so it was a long day for me. They had stuck me on replay, and so being able to kind of do that replay management was kind of fun. Being able to work the board, learn all the different buttons and everything.
With day one in the books, what's next for Jaden Varner is anyone's best guess. He's done everything he can to learn as much as possible in his short time here.
I really want to kind of get better at kind of that directing and being able to storytell a whole lot better, because I think, especially with sports and everything, there's stuff that we watch on TV and stuff that we don't even realize that what they're doing, like the storylines and everything that they're able to put out there as producers and directing, and being able to kind of get those camera angles that you want is that, you know, I always found that interesting because it's one of those things that it's happening right in front of your face, but you don't ever really think about it until someone points it out to you.
The members of the crew sacrifice for the team, working towards something bigger than themselves. They give up the opportunity to watch so others can.
After announcing a new group of 10 Bearcats to the Northwest soccer team, we figured it was time to take a look at recently departed Bearcat. Just last year, it was our privilege to witness Northwest's all-time leader in goals and assists rewrite the record books. Throughout Kaylee Rock's time in green and white, she racked up 28 goals as well as 22 assists in her 74 games played. Rock was the leader of Bearcat squad that notched the program's only NCAA tournament bids as the team made it in back-to-back seasons in 2021 and 2022. She exited the program as the all-time leader in every applicable stat as she blazed through defenses and changed the course of the program. The program continues to evolve as this group of Bearcats aims to chip away at the laundry list of records owned by Rock. Hey, It's halftime. If you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell to be the first to know when we post new content. But as we head into our second break of the show, we make sure to stick around to catch a new look at BCU with the X. We'll be right back.
Welcome everybody, I'm Jackson Phelps, filling in for Wiley Ray this week for BCU with the X. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it with women's basketball. Women's basketball last week on Thursday against Northeastern State got the win 53-35, which propels them past the last 10th spot to make it to KC into that 9th spot. As you know, only 10 teams in the MIAA make it to KC. They are now in the 9th spot after beating Northeastern State. And Saturday fell to Arkansas Fort Smith 56-47. They're sitting at 13-14 overall and 6-11 in the conference, and like I previously mentioned, 9th in the MIAA, which still holds them a spot in Kansas City so far. With 2 games left on the schedule against Newman and Emporia State next week, big wins up ahead for Coach Austin Meyer's girls to go out there and get wins to keep propelling them into the spots to make it to Kansas City. So the next wins are important. As far as one of the best players, Kelsey Fields on Thursday had 3 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds. Now, Kelsey Fields, she has been one of the most predominant players on Coach Austin Meyer's teams for the last couple of years. With Jana Green leaving, she's been really dominant down low, getting second chance points, offensive rebounds, and just some of those teams, has been one of the best players for Northwest this season. As far as the men's, on Thursday, a win over Northeastern State, 81-74, and a first win since January 9th. Saturday, the first winning streak in the Keeley era, winning over Arkansas Fort Smith 64-56, a 2-game winning streak like I mentioned. 2 games left on the schedule, Newman and Emporia State. Not much more to play for as Kansas City is pretty much out of sight, but a lot to look forward to next year. This type of momentum can propel them into recruiting and to the next season, 6-20 overall and 4-13 in conference play. Like I said, a lot to look forward to with the recruiting aspect in the portal for Keeley to get after it there. But as far as one of his current players, Luke Moustakis, one of the better forward guard positions in the game, on Thursday had 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, an impressive stat line from him. And then Saturday, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Again, Luke Moustakis has been one of the better players for Keeley's era. But with all the talk about Luke's play on the court, our director, Dante Distefano, actually sat down with the man to get his Northwest origin story. Take it away, Dante.
Some call him a shooter, others call him Moose. But we here on Bearcat Update like to call him Luke Moustakis. Senior forward Moustakis is in his final season of his collegiate career. But let's take a look back to where his path started.
I mean, I didn't start playing basketball until relatively late, 8th grade is when I first started playing basketball. I was a football player growing up. But then 8th grade came and I started playing basketball and I just fell in love with it. So I quit football and then high school came on. I got moved up to varsity as a sophomore, played a lot. Really liked it there. I actually loved my high school. If you ask any of my friends, they'll tell you how proud I am of an alumni.
In Luke's senior season of high school, he averaged 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 block per game. But how did Luke get on the Bearcats' radar?
Mostly got recruited because of my AAU coach at Breakaway, and he kind of put me in contact here with Z at the time, which was one of the assistant coaches here. And then he came and watched me play, and I came and visited up here a couple times, saw the team chemistry they had going, and just wanted to be a part of that and the winning culture in the past. I was completely sold.
Success just doesn't appear out of thin air. It comes from a winning mentality and motivation. And for Luke, his motivation comes from the people who have been there since day one, Mom and Dad.
High school, travel, they're coming to all my games, they're coming to all my tournaments. You know, my dad's taking off work or working on remote just to be there, so he can drive me around to these games and stuff. But, you know, just like the car rides, if it was a tough loss or I played bad, you know, my dad just kind of keep my head up, you know, not get mad at me, which, you know, goes a long way as an athlete. And, you know, they're always there supporting me, my success and my lows, they're always there right next to me.
This season, Luke is averaging 32 minutes, 10 points, and 4 rebounds per game. Despite the tough season for the Bearcats, Luke steps into a leadership role this year. He continues to keep a positive attitude and show up to practice with a smile on his face and strives to be a great veteran role model for the young Bucks during tough times. For Bearcat Update, I'm Dante Distefano, and I'll see you next week.
And welcome back inside the studio for BCU with the X. I'm Jackson Phelps, filling in for Wiley Ray with Ray's Plays. We have 3 great plays ahead on the men's basketball team. Let's go ahead and look at play number 1. So as we're going to see here, Emory Knox is going to have the ball on the right side, and he is going to find Luke Moustakis on the outside for a 3-pointer. Now, Emory Knox, one of the better passers in the MIAA as it is, and finds Luke Moustakis, who we just mentioned in the men's basketball topic. And, you know, let's go ahead and stop it right here. So, right here, Moustakis, one of the better 3-point shooters, like I mentioned. Emory Knox, who is on that right side, has a great cross-court vision, finds Moustakis right here. Now, Moustakis does have 2 different options, if you want to say, other than shooting the basketball. He has Marcus Glock right here, who is another one of the better 3-point shooters in the MIAA, and his defender is all the way backed up here. So he does have a good closeout and a great chance to get some points, and he has Byron Alexander down here if he wants to dish it down low. But Moustakis' defender is on a good closeout. This is a highly contested ball up at the top, but Luke Moustakis just says, I'm just going to go ahead and let this go. When you get a good look, especially against a top-ranked team like Washburn, you got to take the shots that you can get, and Luke Moustakis does just that. As we see the rest of this play, it's going to fall. Boom. Luke Moustakis, a great player like we mentioned. Let's go to the second play. This is going to be a great rebound, actually, on the defensive side from Trey Mawala. Braden Shorter for Washburn is going to spin around. He's going to take a shot. It's going to miss, and Mawala does a great job getting that rebound for the Bearcats to get extra possessions. And as we look at this play for a second time, let's, you know, we're going to watch Shorter shoot the ball. Let's go ahead and stop it here. Right here, after Braden Shorter shoots this basketball, the ball is up here in the air off this, and as we look down to the court, Trey Mawala right here. That's Andrew Orr, one of the biggest centers in the MIAA. He does a great job putting these back 2 shoulders into Andrew Orr, getting the good box out, and the eyes are on that ball up there waiting for the rebound. Now up here, Washburn has a great chance to get this rebound from the other guy because Marcus Glock could not get that box out on the other guy, but Mawala, one of the most explosive players in the lower half, gets up onto the ball, and as we see the rest of this play, he gets some good power off his jump, secures the rebound, and does a great job getting the ball down the court for the Bearcats. And as we go to the third play, this is going to be another great look from 3 as the ball movement from the Bearcats all season long has been good. Moustakis down low to Mawala, finds Glock open up top for the 3 and gets it. Now, let's break this down. As we look at this for the second time, this is a great basketball play. As we see Moustakis, let's go ahead and stop it right here. So Mawala, this is a great stopping point here. Moustakis dishes it down low to Mawala. We see 1, 2, 3 players right there for Washburn. This is beautiful for Matt Keeley because he has designed a play to trap 3 players in this zone on Mawala because they think he might dish it down low on the baseline to get the guy cutting. But no, this is a design play. You have Marcus Glock right here at the top, one of the best 3-point shooters all alone, right here at the top. That's his hot zone at the very top. This is where he wants the ball to be shot. And right here, his defender, excuse me, I'm going to cut right over here. He is not in the screen. Marcus Glock's defender is way off of him. So this is a good look from Mawala, finding Marcus Glock at the top, wide open, and he's going to cash this 3 because he is wide open. If you're Washburn, you don't want to leave this guy open. And as we watch the rest of this play, Marcus Glock does just that. Wide open, defender can't close out in time, and another Bearcat 3. But this has been another edition of BCU with the X. We'll be back in a week. Next up, we're going to send it to Jaden Varner as he runs down the next week's Bearcat schedule. Take it away, Jaden.
We'll
Welcome back to Next Week in Bearcat Sports. I'm your host, Jaden Varner.
And I'm Reese Hill, back to give you the rundown for Bearcat Sports.
Starting off with softball, they're in action today as part of the Washburn Invitational and will take on Minot State later today at 5:30. They'll continue play on Monday against Maryville and Northern State and will end off the Washburn Invitational on Tuesday against Minnesota Crookston and Rockhurst. The fun doesn't stop there for softball as the Bearcats will travel back to Kansas next weekend to take part in the Midwest College Classic in Shawnee, Kansas. They are scheduled to face Rockhurst, Southwest Baptist, Augustana, and Maryville. The Bearcats sit at 4-5, and after a long break, it will be a real challenge. But they have the tools to thrive. Bearcat pitching has struck out 39 batters and has a team ERA of .364. Alexis Brown will also be a big boost, recently winning MIAA Hitter of the Week.
Baseball is at Joplin today for the start of a 3-game series against Missouri Southern. It was originally scheduled to start on Friday, but due to weather, it was rescheduled as a doubleheader for today. With Game 3 happening Monday, the Bearcats will be home Thursday, starting a 3-game series against Concordia St. Paul. Look for Ryan Williams to play a major role in these matchups. He holds the best batting average on the team at .414 and tacking on a .586 slugging percentage, good for third on the team behind Dylan Huft and Kei Hukai Young. The Bearcats sit at 4-4 on the season, and I expect them to take 2 out of 3 from the Bulldogs.
Track and Field will host the MIAA Indoor Track and Field Championship Friday through Sunday. Events start at 2 p.m. on Friday, 11 a.m. on Saturday, and 12 p.m. on Sunday. Good luck to all the Bearcats participating, and keep breaking school records.
Men's and women's tennis will head to Springfield, Missouri to take on the Maryville Saints. The men's team sits at 2-0 on the year with wins against William Jewell and Augustana, and will look to continue the win streak. Women's tennis sits at 1-1 with a win against William Jewell and a loss against Augustana. Both teams will stay in Springfield and take on Drury on Saturday. Look for both teams to pick up big wins next weekend, as I expect them to come home 4-0 and 3-1.
With 2 games left on the season, men's and women's basketball will come home to play the Newman Jets. For the women's, they'll look to get back to 500 with Molly Hartnett and Kaylee Keston on a tear these last few games. They'll look to continue their reign with Keston averaging 14.6 points per game and Hartnett averaging an 11.5 points per game. They'll be taking on a Jets team that sits at 7-18 on the year and is hungry for a win. I'll predict the Bearcats to get a win here at home.
On the men's side, they'll look to close out the year on a high note. After a 10-game losing streak, they picked up a big win at NSU. And after traveling to Fort Smith, they'll be back home and going up against a 13-12 Newman Jets team who has had a very rough month of February, going just 1-4 so far. This is a great opportunity for the Bearcats to keep building momentum. Look for Luke Moustakis to make big plays and guide the Bearcats to a win.
Make sure to go out and support your Bearcats. That's all we have for you this week. We'll see you next week.
Back to you, Jason.
Thanks, Jaden and Reese. Thank you all for watching, and we'll keep you updated as our Bearcats head towards postseason play. But that's all the time we have for today. I'm your host, Jason Holland, and this has been Bearcat Update, the provider of complete coverage of Northwest sports. We're live every Sunday at 2, and you can find us on YouTube at KNWT TV. Along with Bearcat Update, you can watch KNWT's other content as well. Thank you all for watching, and we'll be back next week.